Good morning. I'm Scott Forcino, an associate broker of the eXp Realty, founder of PlugIntro.com. I have with me today my good friend and someone I admire greatly, Glenn Asher from Kensington Vanguard Title Company. And Glenn is never at a loss for words. You can let him know about title insurance, about his company, and about himself, and about the title world in New York and Florida. Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning. How are you?
So I'm jealous. We're getting some snow showers, and you're getting more Miami weather.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put my umbrella drink down.
So, Glenn made the big move 2 years ago to Florida. Tell me about that and what happened and why.
So obviously we know each other for a long time. I've been doing title now 22 years. And to be honest with you, I just kind of got bored, I guess. I try to be very creative and do things that are different in the industry. A lot of compliance changes, which really didn't affect my decision. I kind of just was doing the same thing for a very long time, and I needed a change, both personally, family, quality of life. I just got tired of running on a treadmill. I was, crushing business, still am. It was more to challenge myself, I think, and to have a change of life. I've always come to Florida. We've always done Florida, mostly refinance business. I didn't know much about the purchase market when I came down here. And funny thing is, some of my first initial meetings were with some of the top agents in Florida, referred from New York. And it was somewhat nerve-wracking because I really didn't know much, and I'm certainly not a liar. I just, figured it out. And knock wood, my team is now up to 24 people within Kensington, which was the largest privately held title company in the U.S. Now we just got part of our company bought by Truist. So now we're publicly traded, which has brought immense opportunities in the future. But in the short term, obviously a big change with IT and HR. And, I have a big operation, so it's kind of a lot to handle. And maintaining business and creativity and, everything I do on a day-to-day. So now we're the largest title agent in the country. Fortunately enough, I had a tremendous year last year, closing nearly $4.5 billion in residential and commercial business. Commercial being only probably $250 million of it, mostly luxury real estate nationwide. Purchase business mostly on the East Coast, but we are a national company, so we do the entire country outside of 4 states, which are Alaska, Hawaii, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. So it was a great year for everyone in the industry. If you didn't have a great year, you're probably not in the right business, at least in Florida and the East Coast. Pandemic was a mess in the beginning and turned out to be great for the real estate market in Florida in the end. And fortunately enough, we are the top agent in South Florida within 5 years for 2 different underwriters. And more importantly, and compliance, we have no claims. So that's the most important thing to me, is my claim to closing ratio is the best in the country, which means that, I mitigate risk very well as an insurance agent, bottom line. So that's the meat and potatoes on the back end, right? We're an insurance company. We give an insurance policy. Yes, we do searching. Yes, we do closings. But at the end of the day, we're an insurance company. So if a Geico turned around and said they closed $4.5 billion and had no accidents and they had to pay no claims, everyone would be astonished. So that's what I'm kind of most proud of. And it has to do with great work by my staff, great operations, technology, and a cohesiveness that you can't build. It has to be intrinsic. It has to be taught and learned. And our team, fortunately enough, is amazing and caring and covers each other's backs. And this world is not a pretty place when you're a business owner and you run your own world. We work very hard. We work countless hours, including myself. And I believe that, leadership starts on top. As you know, Scott, I'll answer phones, I'll sweep floors. I have no ego when it comes to that stuff. People think that I do only luxury real estate. And my posts on social media at Ask the Title Guy, you see my closed posts, and you'll see a $7 million closing and then 150,000 condo in Boynton Beach. And people ask me, Glenn, why do you post those things? Like, why? Because that's what I do. And because the guy who bought the $150,000 condo could buy a $10 million place on Fisher Island next, or refer me to his brother-in-law in California who's moving, or, I never close the door. And I try to treat everyone with the same amount of candor and respect. I am not an attorney. Florida is not an attorney state. When people ask me, well, you're not an attorney, I said, so that means that the law school gave them a lot of experience in transactional real estate, because I closed 50,000 deals in my career, or close to it. That's my ESQ. I tell people, I'm not allowed to give legal advice, and I don't, and we're very compliant with that stuff. But, I know how to get deals closed. That's the bottom line, because it's all about communication.
Well, Glenn, I know that, that's great information. I know that you went to Florida without a book of business, and I consider you to be probably the most heavily networked person I know. And I know that comes from a place of contribution. I've been exposed to some of your philanthropic or organizational opportunities for people to get together and to allow them to share their skill set and learn and gain from each other. And I commend that. And let me know more about your networking and your connectivity with other professionals in each of the areas.
So right back at you, Scott, because you took a proven network arena in different areas and put it online. And I commend you for that. And you really blew up during the pandemic, which was a perfect time to do so. So right back at you with the accolades, and you've plugged away for a while now. We did some stuff together years ago in person, and I think that this venue is also amazing. Networking kind of stopped. I started, doing very big events in New York for brokers, very big brokers that, everyone knows. And I did it differently, right? Celebrity chefs, music, marketing, social media. I did stuff that before it actually became popular to do these things, I was doing it, 10 years ago. Behind me is a picture of me and Ivanka Trump when I did a party for her, and we had 450 people, and she sold her Park Avenue penthouse with Michelle Griffith, who's one of the top agents now in New York City. And we brought in the best of the best. And I tried to do that. The pandemic slowed things down. I stopped doing big networking events and big broker opens because for most of it, and it wasn't at fault of the person I did it for, but people would come and just take advantage of the event. I don't work for free, and I'm not there to feed, agents that could feed themselves. But it was a great way to break into the market down here in Florida, coming from New York, with the reputation I had for these big events. And you know what? I'm going to start doing them again now that the pandemic has, pretty much gone away. Not that it was, ever crazy in Florida compared to other places. But I never wanted to put anyone in jeopardy or create a super spreader event. And now the title guy is the cause of it. So I'm going to start doing some cool things, some different things. Truth be told is, and this because you've been to the parties I used to do at the Dream Hotel, where 1,000 people would fill the venue, and we'd close the doors at 7 p.m. for the networking events that I got involved in and marketed to. I try to put people that want to work with other people together. And my opinion of the broker world, quote unquote, is buyers and sellers will always be around, but networking with similar liked professionals in a nuclear market, meaning real estate living in the middle as the nucleus, and the markets and the businesses that surround it, everything from printing business cards to appraisers to title to lenders to every aspect, accountants and investment bankers. Put them all together in a room and do multiply it by 5, and the people with similar personalities will find each other. And if they don't, and they want to have a drink and sit in the corner, then go do that somewhere else. And that was always my attitude. I'm here to help put people together. I don't make money in other businesses. I do title. That's what I do. I don't do appraisals. I don't do this. I give business and leverage business the best I can. I have to be good at it because I care about that, and I always have people in mind, which I think is the preface to being a good networker, is to have a big tool belt of multiple people in multiple places that can do multiple things. So if you get a call from loan and it's a jumbo product, you have someone that can do a jumbo condo tell. You have someone who could do a $5 million loan that has asset depletion. And having a large tool belt is, to me, very, very important, so that when you get a call, you know where to put people.
And Glenn, one thing I always said about you, and you told me, to be interesting, you got to be interested. And you've always taken a great deal of involvement with people's success, putting them above even yourself, but making sure that they're in the right place. I want to say that I founded PlugIntro because not everyone is Glenn. I needed to meet more people. I needed to have more value to offer someone that wanted to work with me. And Glenn comes always from a place of contribution. But even if you're not active or as involved as he is, the industry is huge. We walk around with Facebook and we walk around with people posting and people making videos. I thought that PlugIntro was a place where, when you're not at a really, really fantastic event with Glenn or someone around the country, you have this business platform in your pocket and you can reach the people that really will matter to someone else. I look forward to meeting someone in Miami or New York where I can introduce to Glenn. It doesn't cost me a dime. It makes him think highly of me. And if something works fantastic, why not give? We have this digital platform. It works all day. It works when we're sleeping. If someone is complimented and included and made to feel special, that you think enough of them to honor them and bring them, vouch for them to meet your contacts, it only can work. And people really want to know, and we've heard the expression, that you care. And I think this is a great way to stand out and distinguish yourself from your competition with PlugIntro, where making the introductions is really easy. Referrals are sometimes hard. There's a lot of competition. And in this business, Glenn could be the best. But if someone's in a transaction and their brother-in-law has got XYZ title, he's not getting the title. So it means that we have to do our best with a wide football field of contacts, but deliver value. And that's really, we're accomplishing that. And with qualified, super competent, interested people like Glenn, I mean, I'm really proud to have him on and to do this.
Thanks, Scott. So what's important to me about networking, more so than anything else, is allowing people to prove themselves to get into the circle, right? I don't refer someone that I've never worked with before. I just don't do it. It's not my thing. And I've worked with a ton of different industries, and people know that I always answer the phone, and they know that they can count on me as a resource, kind of where Ask the Title Guy came from. And I am proud to be able to present to other people my network of success stories. And when I have success in a venue, then that's important to me. So, Scott calls me and says, Glenn, I'm looking to buy a townhouse in Jupiter. I need a good agent. I have somebody, and if I don't, I say I don't. Sorry, Scott, I don't have someone. What I can do is I can call one of my friends who's up there or close and tell me who is plugged into that area, just for argument's sake. I've had people come in and out of my network for a long time. There are people that you trust, and then there are people that you don't trust. And unfortunately, Florida is not a great place for communication. And I say that with a half a smile. People just don't have great customer service in general down here, and you would think that they do. I just found that, answering your phone is half the battle, right? Just being able to be there and being a resource for someone. Half the battle is just answering your phone and being communicative, right? Don't avoid it. I try to refer people that I believe can do the best job, not only for the product, but also for the relationship, because no deal means anything, right? Every deal is great for the deal, but it's all about the relationship. It's all about working together for the next best thing or the next deal or the next relationship or what have you. So I look towards people that can get along well and can network together, right? I'm not going to give Scott someone, I'm not going to relate to a Miami 18-year-old, real estate broker when he's looking for a Jupiter experienced agent, right? It just doesn't make sense. So vetting the referrals to me is the most important thing about networking, and being able to put them with someone of like mind and like personality and someone they'll get along with, right? This is a fun industry. Too often, everyone takes everything so you could be serious but have a good time also. I always hear, you're always having fun at work or that kind of thing. And my answer to that is, yeah, that's right. I work 17-hour days. I don't want to be miserable. So if I have someone that comes into my world that makes me miserable or stresses me out or causes me grief, I don't want to deal with them. And I can choose not to, fortunately.
Glenn, I want to say that's a great point, because these are transactions and people don't realize this is almost like a basketball game, 5-on-5. You got a buyer and a seller. You got brokers. In New York, you have lawyers. You have insurance. You have title insurance. You have inspectors. Everyone's on both sides. So you really have to get together. And from the perspective of the consumer, a team of yourself and a qualified lender and a qualified buyer and a home inspector, everyone working together makes it seamless. So you need a cohesive, powerful team on behalf of the client. Unfortunately, somebody picks a person who's not connected to the group. Somebody goes to Quicken or Rocket Mortgage and they get one, and it gets everyone else. All other 9 players are stymied because the person is a millennial and wanted to try to get a loan on his phone. It is really important for the customer at first contact with the realtor or someone like yourself to know that they're in great hands and that they can trust. Once they made the choice, they got to go to war with that team, that it will finish. And both sides are really looking for the same goal: to get to closing, to make their clients happy, to set themselves up for further referrals, and to move on to the next powerful positive consequence. And
you know what? Just to allude to that real quick, Scott, I am finding more often than not that people allow their ego to get in the way of success. And what I mean by that, so Florida, I'll give Florida condos just a shout out real quick. So condos in Florida are just not an easy thing to do, right? They're non-warrantable, most of them, due to investor heavy, due to reserves, due to a number of mitigating factors, right? So when you get a lender on a condo in Miami, and I call them, which I do all the time, because I don't want to waste my time or cover someone else's tracks or put a buyer in jeopardy of losing their deposit, because Florida is an as-is state. It's not like New York where you have time of the essence. Contract ends and they don't want to give you an extension and you didn't meet the guidelines of the contract, your deposit could be lost. And it's very simple. So I vet the vendors, the lenders, if I don't know who they are. And I ask them, I said, listen, have you ever closed a condo in Miami? Because sometimes it's a 1-800 number. And I mean that with, positivity. The guy could be a great banker, but he's just not a great banker for Miami condos, right? Because he doesn't know what warrantable and non-warrantable condos are. And then he calls the management company and doesn't get an answer, and then gets busy and forgets for 2 weeks, and now his buyer lost the deposit. So, there's a lot of guidelines and restrictions in geographical areas that these people need to know about. And I have no problem telling them in a nice way. But if it's not well received, it's a cautious road to take. So I meet you for the first time over the phone, and you might be doing $100 million a year, and you're a great banker, but you never closed a deal in Florida. This was a referral from your cousin, and you work out of Indiana, and your bank lends in Florida, but you closed one deal here last year, and it was a 50 LTV single family purchase with no HOA, right? So you crushed that deal, but that's a vanilla deal. This is a hard deal. So I have these conversations. Sometimes they're well received, and sometimes they aren't. but the person and the consumer is who I'm most concerned about. And I just let them know, listen, if you've never done it before, here's what to expect, right? And that's that. And then, I don't throw anybody under the bus unless they deserve it. I don't like liars. I think it's bad for the business. I don't like people that put their own ego and emotions in front of the deal and the buyer. I mean, this is important stuff. People are achieving their dreams, right? I'm closing in 2 weeks on what I'm building is a dream house for me. I work my ass off to get it. And I don't want anything to get in the way, but I'm not stupid enough to allow someone who's more experienced at whatever it is get involved and help me along the way.
Right. Listen, Glenn, I want to ask you before we have to wrap up, what other ventures are you pushing out today that you can let us know at all about?
So I am involved with 3 new projects, all within the space of title. I don't do anything else. The one I can speak about right now, 2 I can't. One of the 2 I can't might change the whole industry for good. And I mean that with the utmost sincerity. It could be something that I bring to market with my partners that will change maybe title insurance, maybe the way things are done. I can't say too much, but it could be a game changer. The one thing that I can talk about that we're almost ready to go live with is our crypto company. There's a lot of hoopla out there in the marketplace about NFTs and crypto, and I closed in crypto, and great. And Justin Bieber just sold his house and he got paid in crypto, and that was his demand as a seller, and you're going to see more of that as the inflation goes up and things change in the global markets. I'm not very well vested in the crypto world, but I do see an opportunity to take advantage of the fact that real estate can be purchased through different crypto parameters. And that doesn't mean that John Smith, who has 10 million in Bitcoin, can convert his money to cash and purchase in a month. That anybody could do that, right? It's just like an investment portfolio. You liquidate it, you turn it into cash, and you close. What we're going to do is a lot different, a lot faster, a lot quicker. We are going to lead the industry in the space for transactional real estate, starting in Florida, obviously, through strategic partners and legal, and it's kind of a big deal. We've been working on it for almost a year now, and are almost there to bring it to market. And it's going to change the way crypto and real estate interact. So stay tuned, and I'll disclose more information once we button it up a little bit. But it's something that the market is calling for, and I always try to be a year ahead of everyone else in the marketplace. And this is going to be game changing. So
right.
I'm excited.
Well, we are looking forward to it. We have this is a video interview series that Glenn is hosting. We'll offer it out to his referral partners and clients. We're going to be here 2 or 3 times a month. You'll be able to see Glenn's interview with those he shares it. And this is PlugIntro, and there's an opportunity for all to claim positions within it and promote their business as Glenn has. And all the credit will be to Glenn, because we are here to provide the infrastructure, and Glenn is here to provide the influence and the professional assistance and representation. We're looking forward to it. Glenn, thank you very much.
God, I'll see you soon.
Okay, you will. Thank you. I appreciate your input.
Bye.
Take care now.